All right, folks, how about a little Friday Night Live? What do you say? It's about 3 p.m. here on the West Coast, so we're still wrapping up the afternoon, transitioning into the evening. Hope you guys are just doing fantastic out there as we're about to fire up a session here, and I'm just putting out a little tweet, a little post on X right now, live for the night. Excuse me. So today's title, XRP Unleashed, we're going to talk about it. Got a couple more updates coming, fresh content tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Going to be having our weekly call with the Discord group tomorrow morning as well. If you're looking to get tapped in, it's all over at my website, zachrector.com. So I want to get right on into this update. So without further ado, let's get started by taking a look here at the cryptocurrency market. Today, back up slightly, just over $1 trillion for the overall cryptocurrency market cap, 26,490 for Bitcoin, 1632 for Ethereum, and XRP back above the 50-cent marker, right at that 50-cent level. This is why I do what I do right here, is to cut through not just the FUD from the XRP FUDsters, but also from the fake news media and an agenda from the very top, institutions like the UN, Undersecretary General for Global Communications wants to massively ramp up an information war on disinformation with an army of trusted messengers, right? So the almighty ones up top there get to decide what is disinformation. They are the ones who are ramping up their battle against the information war. And so for us, we have to recognize it's such an incredible role that folks like myself find ourselves in as just these little guys making some YouTube videos, right? Next thing you know, you got a serious platform breaking down current events, cryptocurrency, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. Now, would they label some of my content as not good? Sure. And they do, and they try. And the beautiful thing now is that the people are desperate for free speech. The people want their own ability to decide what is disinformation, misinformation, which crypto should I invest in, right? We're not seeking, to have an influencer tell us, what crypto to buy. We're not seeking some talking head telling us what to believe. We just want the information. We want the sources, the facts, and then we want the ability to put this thing together for ourselves and then to be able to position accordingly. That's what we're trying to do right here, is cut through all this chaos and show folks how I'm moving. There's plenty of other YouTubers. There's plenty of other guys. There's plenty of other programs, right? And I'm simply just putting it out in an effort to help as many people as possible get tapped in. Let's keep it rolling. And this is the 15-year anniversary of the $680 billion asset manager Lehman Brothers collapsing. That was 15 years ago today, triggering a recession in the U.S. known as the 2008 financial crisis. To this day, it remains the largest bankruptcy filing in U.S. history. I wonder if we will surpass that this time around, right? And we've seen the banking crisis spread. We know that this is not over. The bankruptcy filings this year. This is the most bankruptcy filings that we've had, I think, since the Great Financial Crisis. So much of the data goes back to that Great Financial Crisis, and yet we get the economics talking heads like Paul Krugman and others, right? These Nobel Peace, not Nobel Peace Prize, but these guys that are the these are the guys that are supposed to break down what's actually taking place here. But when you look at what they're trying to put out there, right? It's don't panic, folks. Don't worry about inflation. We're going to give you the inflation update from Paul Krugman, where in the past, he says, I focused on a measure that excludes everything that freaking matters. Lagging shelter and used cars, as well as food and energy. That's all removed from his data point that he wants us to be running with when we get our inflation update. Shelter, cars, used cars in particular, and food and energy is the equation that makes up real inflation. What's really going to impact us back home. But you get talking heads right here like Paul Krugman that run around spewing this nonsense. Just to note that it adds to the evidence that inflation has been largely defeated. This is setting up the American people for absolute sacrifice. When you got guys like this, they're saying, no, we're not in a recession. No, it wasn't a recession last year when we did meet the technical definition. Absolutely not. And inflation, the battle, has been largely defeated, even though we just got the CPI print yesterday that shows headline CPI back up from 3.2 up to 3.7, surpassing expectations. It's worse than expectations. And this is going to give potential, more ammunition for Jerome Powell to raise rates further, which, what does that do? Rug pull the U.S. economy, rug pull Main Street, sacrifice the middle class and poor, and the American dream gets absolutely killed. While Paul Krugman, talking head, Economics 101 professor, wants to switch up the definition of a recession, wants to switch up the equation to calculate real inflation, the real cost of goods and services that actually matter. And as I just put out in the update yesterday, what did we say? Food inflation at the grocery store is up 19.6, almost 20%. Just like we've been saying, real inflation on anything that matters is 10 to 20% plus, while they tout that we're at 3%. That's the number that they run with. Now, the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, core CPI, right, is above 4%, well above that 2% target. So for Paul Krugman to be saying that they've defeated inflation, they must have changed what this battle's about, what they're trying to achieve. Once again, they're moving the goalpost, as always. Got to fit the narrative. Paul Krugman playing his role. FX hedge here. Is $20 per hour too high for fast food workers? More robots coming. What is going on right now is that a McDonald's franchisee group says that new California fast food bill will cause devastating financial blow, reporting by CNBC. After California lawmakers passed a landmark fast food bill, an independent advocacy group of McDonald's owners is pushing back against what it says will be a devastating financial blow to its franchisees in the state, according to a memo viewed by CNBC. Now you have to understand that McDonald's, yes, it's a big, corporation, and that's what controls this franchise. But a lot of the franchisees, these are, just regular folks that might own one, two, a few franchise locations, right? But these are not billionaire, corporation owners. These are, owners of a few McDonald's. They actually are not, it's a tough way to build generational wealth. It is one. There are some, right? But mostly these franchisees models, who do they take care of? The franchisor at the very top, and the franchisees, get a little cut, a little sliver. They get to play along. But these are folks that are saying if they raise these prices to $20 per hour, it's going to cause a devastating financial blow. Well, I'll tell you what it's going to confirm, and that's going to be more inflation. Your Happy Meal is going to go up to $10, right? And then the average meal, your burger, your quarter pounder, your Big Mac, right? Your Big Mac meal is going to go to $20. It's already at what? 12, 13, 10. It's well over 10, 12, 13. I was saying I can't go to any one of these places, McDonald's, Subway, any fast food chain these days, without spending dang near 15 to $20 on the basic meal. Now, the new legislation, AB 1228, was voted into law late Thursday and heads to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk for signature. It includes a wage floor of $20 for California workers at fast food chains with at least 60 locations nationwide starting April 1st. Here's the problem. Is that, yes, the workers do need a raise. The workers, are struggling. But the problem is that you have automation. The robots are coming. And as you're already seeing, right, at all these places, self-checkout at all these retail stores, self-checkout at McDonald's and others, you get replaced down the road here, right? They are going to take these jobs away. So in the meantime, here's your $20 an hour, right? And the problem is that that's still not going to be enough to battle inflation. It only spurs more inflation because that cost of doing business gets handled by, in this case, the franchisee, right? The owner of that McDonald's, who they're saying this is going to cause a devastating financial blow. It's going to cause them a problem. And the issue with these restaurants in particular is I don't know if they have the ability to just raise prices to cover that cost. So that's where they take the hit. So typically, if you were just a restaurant owner, right, and you're going to have to start paying your workers $20 an hour, which I've spoken with many restaurant owners, actually. We got a couple in our Discord group that own multiple restaurants as well. And they're talking about how, yeah, you used to pay minimum wage was, 10 to $15 an hour. Here in some of these other states, we're already well over $15 an hour minimum wage. And even for server positions, you've had to go upwards to $20 an hour to cover the deal, paying $20 to $25 an hour plus for chefs with signing bonuses, right? So it's gotten really tough here. This is just one industry, one example, but it reiterates and confirms the broader point that inflation's not going away. And who ends up paying down the road, right? The cost gets handed off to the restaurant owner, who then is going to have to turn it around and raise prices. The consumer is going to have to take and eat this cost down the road. It's just a matter of when, not if. So inflation is not going away. While Paul Krugman, Talking Head, says that we've defeated inflation, it's not. And I would love to, say that, okay, these folks deserve $20 an hour. They're getting $20 now. They're going to be fine. These folks are in big time trouble, right? Because now, like I said, your average meal is going to go up to $15, $20 a meal. Your average outing for a family, just like the viral TikTok that's going around, is 50 something bucks for a family of 4 at Taco Bell. So even when you tried to feed up the family with crap, it's still going to cost you $50, let alone going to a restaurant out to eat, or the cost of groceries feeding your family at home has gone up nearly 20% as well, let alone if you can actually find good quality. And this is why in our group, in our Discord group, we've been talking about establishing relationships with local farmers so we can get good grass-fed beef. We don't got to stand in line to eat the bugs with everybody else. And I joke, but that's where this goes, right? This whole agenda takes us to coffin apartments, eat the bugs, 15-minute city, take, 2-minute showers, right? I mean, just live like a peasant while the elite are siphoning off all of the wealth. This is going to be the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, and their net worths have grown exponentially during this time, and they laugh about handing the peasants. I mean, I'm speaking from their perspective, how they're talking behind the scenes as they're laughing. Yeah, give the peasants $20 an hour, fast food workers. Congratulations, little guy. That's how they think. Well, I understand. I come from blue collar working class. I come from $13 an hour at my first job and working my way up, trying to make myself more valuable. I don't stand in the picket line waiting for my union to raise my wages. I don't wait for anybody to raise my wages. And this is the point that I've been trying to bring home to our group, is to take it back, that control. What can we control right now? And get locked in. And relationships is a big part of that. So we've been talking about being able to source your quality food. I got my little garden, not enough to live off of, but it's something. It's supplemental. You got other folks who are doing deals, right? Start buying local. Start paying in real money. This is how we change the world. One purchase at a time. When you go to the local farmer, and you have to pay with silver because they've banned us through your CBDC technology, and you've used too many carbon credits, and you've ate too much beef, and you're a bad little guy, and so you're not allowed to buy any more beef for the rest of the month. This is why we have our offline assets. So when the systems go down, or when the government deems us to be a bad boy, we can still spend some money and feed our family. Sounds crazy. How far off from that reality are we, though? Can you even get good quality food is another question, because we know that the farmers are being sacrificed as well. I'm sorry for ranting, guys. It's the first live that I've done here in a little bit, and so I'm just catching up and getting out all my feelings. I'm letting you guys know how we really feel here on a Friday Night Live. Let's keep it rolling. This is a setup that we've been talking about for about a year. When folks started paying attention to the congressmen and women who are building generational wealth by serving our great country, right? They go from making a few $100,000 a year. Okay, that's the 6-figure salary that these folks get. Probably not worth it, but that's okay. And the reason why they're paid so well, or supposedly the story and reason why they're paid so well is so that they don't have to be cronies and have corruption and backdoor deals. But that's what they're doing. And they're using their positions of powers, which actually been shown now because we're watching their trades. They have to be reported. And so now we're seeing it. And it's not just the politicians themselves, it's also their spouses. Today, we get U.S. Congressman Representative Ro Khanna, Democrat from California, introducing a plan to ban Congress and their spouses from trading stocks. Now, I'm not going to name the names of the families that this is going to hurt. This is going to be a big problem for some of these families and syndicates and mobs, these little mafia families that I won't dare name. Won't dare name them. But you know who we're talking about. And this is very interesting because we've been talking about this being a setup and kind of a signal top. When this was considered earlier in the year, you actually saw the stocks roll over after that. But now it hasn't been fully implemented. Now it looks like we have a bill that's on the board. And this could feed into the narrative. It's not that these are the lone issues that bring us down. These are the talking points that the mainstream media gets to tell us. Oh, the stocks are dumping because the congressmen and women are dumping now. And then it'll be okay to talk about these politicians doing all these corrupt backdoor deals, right? And they'll serve up and sacrifice some of these guys. Mitt Romney's stepping down. He's not going to be serving and running for re-election, And these are the types of guys that we need to get out of there. You'll notice that Mitt Romney's a Republican. For folks that think I'm just some, Republican or think that I'm this way or that way, I simply just want the opportunity here in America in a level playing field. And this corruption is what is destroying this great nation. All these politicians are for sale. Just like all the other influencers and shills that you guys know of out here in the crypto space. It's a great example, right? They don't care about anything else besides who will cut them the next check. And that wasn't enough. They got to double down by actually trading as well. Now, here's the sad part. Unfortunately, is I don't think that this is going to stop them, because the thing about this is they can set up arms, as long as they're not at arm's length, right? As long as they have investment advisors and blind trusts and different types of entities where they can't touch the trading portfolio, right? They'll just, they'll say, I have no control over this. And so I believe that there's still going to be a workaround and abilities for them to do this. And unfortunately, there's always going to be ways for them to get bought and paid for. That's why myself and others need to keep applying pressure. We need to keep watching what they're doing, not just what they're saying, but what they're doing, because as we've exposed, it's corrupt as heck. And if we don't stop it, our country's gone as we know it. With that being said, let's talk about cryptocurrency. Eleanor Terrett shares this. The New York Department of Financial Services is set to release changes to its coin listing policy standards today, whereby crypto companies operating in New York State will no longer be allowed to self-certify the adoption listing of new tokens. The revoking of the self-certification process aims to hold all BIT licenses and limited purpose trust companies to the same DFS-approved listing standards and provide additional clarity to the industry plagued by scams. More details to come. So essentially, if you want to, be in New York, you have to go through the Department of Financial Services, and you are going to need to now go through their certification process if you want to adopt or list new tokens. Now, the good news about what this does is it's going to finally provide clarity, right? They're going to tell us what you're going to have to do to certify and what that product or what that crypto is going to be classified as if you want to do business in New York. Now, is it another hurdle? Yes. Is it another check? Is it another add it to the line item expense of trying to do business in the United States, right? Unfortunately, yes. But this is the process of us being legitimatized and hundreds of trillions and quadrillions coming into this space. Now, talking about who's leaving this space, when we look at Binance resignations the past 3 months, you have their chief strategy officer, VP of compliance, head of product, general counsel. That's never good. When you lose your head lawyer, never good. Head of APAC, all resigning from Binance. And then from Binance US, we have the CEO resigning, head of legal as well, and the chief risk. That is not a good look. And once again, is Binance, we want to give them their day in court. We'll see where it goes. But a lot of speculation that there's a lot more bad activity happening. And you got a lot of folks that have most likely been cooperating and sharing secrets with, Binance's secrets behind the scenes to regulators, three-letter agencies who are making their moves and building their case against the largest exchange in the world. So that's the bad news, is that we're going through the chaos. More exchanges will go down. More projects will fail and go to zero, but we're cleaning up the space and we're getting ready for $1.34 trillion asset manager Deutsche Bank to offer Bitcoin and crypto custody services. As we've been talking about in Wall Street, same thing over here. You are seeing Deutsche Bank and others. These are, managers of trillions of dollars of wealth, and they're now looking to offer crypto custody services. They want to onboard all of this after the carnage from regulations, from these exchanges going down, and from 99% of crypto projects going away. Now, I am looking forward to dropping an update tomorrow morning, and it's titled Ripple's ODL Patent Endgame. And we got to talk about this because a lot of confusion in the space right now. A lot of folks talking about Ripple rebranding away from on-demand liquidity. So I got an update that's dropping tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you guys will be able to check that out. It's going to be titled Ripple's ODL Patent Endgame. Now, I just came across this as well from Wrath of Kahneman. Answers about ODL on the Ripple website. Quote, ODL is a word that is difficult to understand at first glance for outsiders, so we have decided to consolidate it into the term Ripple payments. ODL still exists as a function. And so we have Emi Yoshikawa providing a little bit more context. It looks like they're just trying to simplify this from a branding marketing perspective. They are going to Ripple payments instead of ODL. So RippleNet, on-demand liquidity, everything. It's just all getting put into one thing, one entity, one title here, one term, Ripple payments. And ODL still exists as a function. Now, the reason why I titled this stream XRP Unleashed is because this is the moment in time that we've been waiting for, where we really flip the switch and we start to fire up all of these, not just on-demand liquidity corridors for cross-border transaction, but the patent that they got for on-demand liquidity is for the cross-value or cross-medium transactions. It's different. It's not just cross-border. It's not just cross-currency. It's cross-medium, which includes tokenized commodities, securities, bonds, and every financial asset imaginable. Where we build out the best liquidity is through the AMM, the automated market maker. That's the final, I'm terming this, the final ingredient to the secret sauce is the automated market maker. We already had the secret sauce, which is XRP's ODL, right? And what Ripple did is they onboarded clients with RippleNet, but they didn't make them use crypto yet, right? You don't got to hold crypto. We don't got to use crypto, but you can just come be a RippleNet client and we'll be able to provide better liquidity for you, better cross-border transactions for you. Then they present to them the secret sauce, the strategic weapon, XRP, settling up on-demand liquidity with XRP. Well, now, right, we are going to get the automated market maker function, which finds us and sources us the best liquidity, the tightest trading pairs, not just between the cross currencies, not just cross-border transactions, but this is going to be from any currency to any other currency, any other bond, security, or form of financial asset imaginable. And we're going to be building out this liquidity through the AMM. And the XRP ledger inherently already has that decentralized exchange built into it. So this is why we say that XRP is ready for all the money. It's not that everything is going to be settled on the XRP ledger. It's going to be one of the best sources for liquidity, but you can tokenize anything of value and you're going to be able to settle it on the XRP ledger. And it's going to be one of the best ledgers to do this cross-medium transaction, which Ripple patented. And they are the ones that have the sole right to use a ledger and a currency for cross-medium transactions, not just in the US. They have the US patent, but they also have the world patent as well. And they filed these patents in 2020 before the SEC lawsuit. Then in December, SEC drops the lawsuit on them. Both the US and the world patent were then granted to Ripple in January of 2021, just 1 month after the SEC filed the lawsuit. And so you add this piece to our whole puzzle, our whole great conspiracy of why the SEC went after Ripple XRP. We've talked about the Wall Street, the incumbents, the JP Morgans that tried to replace XRP with their JP Morgan coin, with their other solutions. But nobody wants to be within these walled gardens. No one trusts them. And they don't have 10 years of track record, and they don't have the best liquidity. It's very simple. Yeah, in a walled garden, a controlled environment where nobody really trusts each other, but we can trust each other enough to just transact between JP Morgan and our bank. You're within their own siloed ecosystem. That's all they've accomplished. It's a complete joke, actually. You compare that with Ripple patenting this technology, and the patents are so key and critical for technologies like this. See, once you have the patent, you have the rights to this technology to use a ledger and a currency for cross-medium transactions. That's the specific terms that they use. And so I got the full breakdown that's going to be dropping tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Ripple's ODL patent endgame. You guys got to check that one out. 6 a.m. tomorrow, and that's Pacific Standard Time. Here shortly, here in just about 30 minutes at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have another video dropping Ethereum and SEC attack Ripple XRP. And then we're going to talk about the Ethereum whistleblower who came out today and everything that's been exposed just within the past 24 hours after an Ethereum whistleblower came forward and was basically calling out the Ethereum free pass and acknowledging that, yes, the same SEC that gave Ethereum the free pass did weaponize their body and went after and attacked Ripple through the SEC lawsuit. So that's going to be dropping here at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then another update for you guys at 6 a.m. tomorrow. With that being said, let me take some Q&A while we're here. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. We're just approaching about 30 minutes on this live show. Absolute pleasure bringing a little Friday night live to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please smash that thumbs up. Drop your comments or questions down below, and let's answer a few. Don't use centralized exchanges, use only DEXs. Yeah, I mean, when you can, it is the way to go. It is the way to go. And I'm telling you guys right now, I'm coining this term right now, that the final ingredient to the secret sauce is the AMM. And that's why David Schwartz and Ripple are pushing for it so hard. It's the final ingredient to the secret sauce that makes up the XRP ledger, settling with XRP, the native currency of that ledger. Is the adult beverage in hand yet? Still sipping a little Gatorade Zero. Little Gatorade Zero right now. Happy Friday, everyone. What's XRP price prediction by the end of 2023? I'd love to see us break $1. I would love to see us go to new all-time high, and I would love to see us go to 589. What's going to happen? Man, I really don't think that we begin the next bull run, the overall cryptocurrency bull run, till next year, to be honest. But XRP can do some pretty incredible things. If we go look at what it did last time, 2017, 2018 bull run, it went from about 20 cents to that new all-time high in the course of about a month. So as long as we're above 20 cents, I've always said we're 1 month away from going back to all-time high, because at any time we can fire up the launch pad and just take off, and this thing absolutely goes. And there's way more liquidity in this market now than compared to 2017, 2018. The big catalyst that I'm waiting for is the first bank payment provider institution within the US to go live with XRP. That first announcement, I think, is going to be a big move. And there's a couple other catalysts that we're waiting for that can really move the needle, right? And that would be a settlement in the lawsuit. That would be the first bank institution going live. And the other catalyst that I'm watching for right now, like immediately, would be Judge Torres denying the interlocutory appeal, that the SEC filed. So if the judge denies that SEC appeal, that would be a major victory, right? And so that could give us a little pump, a little temporary pump. I do have a funny feeling about this proper party deal. I do feel like we will get a little proper party pump. And usually what happens on these is we pump leading up to the event and then we dump after. So just so we're clear, because, you know, I always got folks watching me. They're waiting for me to slip up at any turn, and they're going to clip this up and they're going to say, oh, Zach said that we got a proper party pump. Yes, but it's usually a pump leading up to these events, and then we dump on the day of or day after. So be ready for that. Be ready for that. It's just like what happened with Stellar, right? Stellar's big day, their big announcement. What is it? They got a celebrity, you know, endorsement from Idris Elba or whatever his name is, some actor, right? And then a new website and a new commercial. It's like, what's the big deal about this? That was a joke. Absolute joke from Stellar's big day, new website. Like, thanks, right? And so you got that temporary pump and then it rolled over. I don't know what XLM's at right now. Let me take a look, guys. What are we up to? Please drop your comments, questions down below. And we're about 20 minutes until the next update drops here on YouTube. 26,600 for Bitcoin. Market's moving back up slightly. We got Solana down at 18 bucks. Didn't really get that big Solana crash that folks were worried about. FTX still has about $3.4 billion worth of crypto to unload, so we're watching that one. Let's see. Chainlink, we got the big news on Chainlink. That's going to be dropping at 5. I got a video dropping at 5 p.m. here in just a couple hours. Quadrillions, 2 quadrillion coming to crypto is what it's titled. And it's about how the DTCC is taking a look at Chainlink's CCIP, right? I think is what it's called. So huge shout out to the Link Marines, the Link gang. Congratulations. It doesn't look like the price has really done anything today. It's up about 1%. Okay. But Chainlink, congratulations. You got the DTCC, which is the largest clearinghouse for... Oh, actually, we're getting a little pump right now. Watch out, folks. Couple green ones coming in. The DTCC, we've talked about the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. They're the largest clearinghouse of securities in the United States, and they settle 2 quadrillion worth of transactions on a yearly basis. And I believe that they have, it's like hundreds of trillions of basically securities held at the DTCC. But then the actual settlement and movement is equivalent to over 2 quadrillion on a yearly basis. So I said, this is the type of news that I love to see during the depths, the dark, dark depths of a bear market recession. And we're asking, are we ever going to make it out of this pit, out of this hole? And you get news like this today, which in full transparency, I don't hold Chainlink. Don't really care for it. But I do care about folks understanding what's happening here, which is not just trillions coming into crypto, not just tens of trillions, not just hundreds of trillions, but quadrillions coming into digital assets, DLT technology. Now, who's going to be the winner? Who's going to be the one to rule them all? That's the question that we ask. Is Chainlink going to get a little piece? Sure. I bet they will. So with AMMs coming to the XRP ledger, how fast will this affect the overall market cap, if at all? Thank you, and let me know. That's a good question. I think that immediate impact won't be, too much. I think off the announcement, off the move, we could get a little something. But I do think that it's going to have a large impact on folks heading to the XRP ledger to source liquidity. The other thing is it's going to enable more DeFi products on the XRP ledger as well. So it's going to be a major deal for the XRP ledger as far as how will that impact market cap, which in extension, what you're asking is that going to impact price? Yes. Is it going to be an immediate pump to 589? No. But this is all added utility, DeFi, and AMMs is the final ingredient to the secret sauce. And our secret sauce is the best. The XRP ledger is the best ledger for sourcing liquidity in the world. And XRP being the native currency is going to be the world reserve digital currency of this new financial system. Right? So, no, this is massive. David's a big proponent of it. And additionally, we see that some developers are sharing some concerns about it. And there's some drama between the XRP Ledger validators and developers, and I don't care to get into it right now, right? They got their little sidechain project. What's exciting, though, is that we have the Ethereum virtual machine sidechain, which allows you to conduct and transact through all of the EVM contracts, all of the Ethereum virtual machine contracts. You can transact with all of those, settling up with XRP. See, the Zahao network, this XRP Plus token for the sidechain, the Zahao network, right, is a separate token native to that ledger. It shouldn't even be called the sidechain. It's not a sidechain because there's not a bridge back to mainnet. Sidechain has a bridge back to mainnet. This only has a one-way bridge, burn to mint, that is temporary. And then after that, the sidechain, or sorry, it's not the sidechain, it's the smart contract Zahao ledger is its own deal. Versus what other XRP ledger developers and Pierce Technologies has been the main developers behind the Ethereum virtual machine. They're creating a side chain that is connected back to mainnet and is using the native currency XRP to settle up on the Ethereum virtual machine sidechain. So it's called the EVM sidechain, and it's a true sidechain, and it is using XRP for settlement. Versus what some of these developers decide to do, we're going to go make our little playground over here, our little smart contract playground, and we're going to create a little XRP Plus token, and we're going to give folks the ability to burn their XRP to get XRP Plus tokens. And we'll see how it goes. I got some more stuff coming on the XRP Plus Zahao network, but I don't care to get into it right now. Why is it taking so long for FTX to dump? That's a good question, Eric. They actually limited their ability to offload those assets and liquidate them. So they can do up to $200 million a week, right? And then, what is it? $3.4 billion total. Yeah, so they can do up to $200 million a week. We got about 17 minutes until we get the next update dropping here on YouTube for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. If you haven't already, please smash that thumbs up. We're running a special right now, too, for our Discord group. If you pay for your annual membership, you get 13% off. So if you're looking to save some money right now, we're running a special offer for the Patreon Discord group. Just head on over there and you can now pay for an annual membership. And in doing so, you will save 13% off the cost of doing so. So we would love to have you over there, a group of like-minded individuals. We've been talking about a lot of content coming that way because for reasons that I wish I could speak on, but some stuff we just have to keep in the private Discord group. It has to be exclusive and it has to be out of the public sphere. And then additionally over there, I can talk about deals in a much more intimate way. I can talk about, oh, I'm looking at this real estate transaction. This is how I'm evaluating this deal. I'm looking at this business to buy. I'm looking at doing this to scale up my business. And we have additional content coming for our business development program, additional content coming for crypto basics, because I know that we have a lot of new people that are going to be coming into this space once we go back into a bull market. Right. So now we're in the depths of a bear market. Folks that have been in crypto are leaving, but I know what's coming. And what's coming is millions of people and even billions of people are going to be coming to crypto digital asset technology. So I'm going to be putting out more basic content, and that's going to be for free here on YouTube because I want to be able to get that out to everyone in the world. Okay. All right. With that being said, guys, I am going to have to roll here, but here shortly at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we got a new video dropping: Ethereum and SEC attack Ripple XRP. Make sure you guys go check that one out. And then tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have the Ripple ODL patent endgame dropping. You guys are going to like that one. With that being said, if you guys could smash that thumbs up for me on the way out, make sure we subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss impromptu Friday night lives, right? And if you want to get in touch with me, just head on over to my website, zachrector.com. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic Friday. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.